conversation. The Prime Minister, they've got an election going on.
We just completed an unprecedented summit of North American mayors focused on an issue of importance to all of our cities.
Imagine walking into a supermarket and finding empty shelves where your toilet paper used to be. Sounds familiar? No, it's not 2020 again, but the US could be headed for another paper shortage, this time thanks to Trump's new tariffs on Canada. The move aims to boost American manufacturing, but could it leave millions scrambling for basic necessities? Let's break it down. The Trump administration is set to introduce a new wave of tariffs on Canadian softwood lumber, nearly doubling the import duty to 27%, and it could go even higher, possibly exceeding 50%. This increase is part of Trump's America First trade policy aimed at boosting domestic manufacturing. But here's the catch. Canadian softwood lumber is the primary ingredient in northern bleached softwood kraft pulp, also known as NBSK, which is used to make toilet paper and paper towels. The US imported 2 million tons of Canadian NBSK last year, and many American paper manufacturers rely on it. The new tariffs could disrupt this supply chain, leading to possible shortages and price hikes. You might not think about where your toilet paper comes from, but nearly 50% of all imported toilet paper in the US comes from Canada. Even more crucially, about 30% of the pulp used in American-made toilet paper and half of paper towel production depends on Canadian NBSK. According to Dino Bianco, CEO of Kruger Products, Canada's largest toilet paper producer, the US imports a significant share of its tissue supply. Many American manufacturers especially prefer Canadian pulp because of its unique properties, making it difficult to replace with domestic alternatives. As Brian McClay, chairman of TTOBMA, put it, and I quote, "Some of these mills in the US have been using Canadian pulp for 30 years. They won't change overnight." End quote. The impact of these tariffs goes beyond just price hikes. The increase in lumber import duties means fewer wood chips used to make pulp, potentially forcing sawmills out of business. This could result in temporary closures and reduced production, leading to the kind of shortages we saw during the pandemic. Trump has already announced 25% tariffs on all imported vehicles, trucks, and auto parts, including Canadian-made products. The softwood lumber tariff is expected to increase from 14% to 27% this year, and additional penalties could drive it up even further. If supply shrinks while demand remains high, expect rising costs and possible stockpiling by consumers. It's not just about the US and Canada. The new tariffs could lead to a domino effect in the global paper supply chain. Softwood pulp isn't something that can be easily swapped for an American-made alternative. Industry experts say the unique properties of Canadian NBSK cannot be replicated with domestic pulp, which means US tissue manufacturers will face high costs and possible supply disruptions. April 2nd is the big date to watch. The Trump administration will roll out the tariffs as part of what the president has called Liberation Day for American manufacturing. While he claims this will strengthen the US economy, economists warn that consumers could end up paying the price literally. Trump recently posted on social media about a productive call with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. He hinted at future talks after Canada's elections on April 28, but there is no word yet on whether these tariffs could be softened. The new tariffs are being promoted as a way to revive US manufacturing, but they might also trigger a shortage of toilet paper and paper towels, something every American household depends on. If sawmills shut down and supply tightens, consumers could see pandemic-style shortages and rising costs.